You're watching the Tesla live with your host, Mark Coughlin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tesla Live number 421, 23rd of July, 2025. And, of course, today is earnings day call. But first, let's get to the co-hosts. We've got the cranky unicorn joining us, but also we have Mr. Patrick Connor joining us. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. Yes, I'm happy to go first while Casey deals with his dad. Big dad over there. So it's lovely sunny day here. Yesterday at about 5 o'clock, I don't know what happened, but our Tesla Energy Gateway just shut off, stopped. The solar stopped. We started running on battery, so I don't know if the grid went out or what. I don't know what happened. But then 10 minutes later, everything was back to normal. And actually, it was like as the sun was starting to set, and so at least, I mean, the total sunset wasn't until like later at 8 o'clock, but it never quite came back. It was like low, and I was like, oh no, did something break? And tomorrow it's going to be horrible, or we're going to be at half output or something. And nope, today it's fine. So I don't know, those 10 minutes just freaked me out, but I'm happy that it's all back and running now. There you go.
Very good.
You only want to reboot at night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a solar system. You can reboot at 10 or at 2 a.m. all you want.
Also with us as normal, Mr. Casey Green from the Mid-Atlantic. Have you tamed the unicorn, Casey?
We reached the short armistice.
And how are you today, sir?
It's quite warm out, but everybody's in mostly good spirits. And
very good, very good.
I got an update on the car. It was the new one, but nothing in it. Nothing. Bug fixes.
Do either of you have Grok yet?
No, I got bug fixes.
Bug fixes, right. Same here. Yeah, security patches. Okay, those are good. I want those too, but come on.
I want the security patches faster because the security patches was on one in between the one I had and the one I got. So.
And a quick hello to Lee Moon, who joins us in the chat room first, along with Highlander and Digital Blade. Welcome, everybody. Nice. Well, today is earnings day call, and that just concluded a short time ago. And our friend Patrick has been on the pulse. So what did you learn in the earnings call today, Patrick?
That is right. Yes, these are always exciting calls. And, of course, there's their opening remarks. There's the say questions, and then there's the analyst questions. And that, it's an hour and a half. I'm not going to take an hour and a half. I'm going to go through just the exciting stuff that I thought was cool. So 2025 has been an exciting year with many of their milestones being achieved. There was some comment that their CFO made about it being one of their highest grossing quarters, but when I was going through the financials, I didn't see that. So I don't know what aspect he was talking about. So there's a grain of salt with that. They did release their safety report also. And with FSD, a car is 10 times safer than a car that does not have FSD. I thought that was a really interesting fact. Of course, the Robotaxi launched. We've discussed that many times in the show. That was exciting news. They have paying customers. The Austin service area is already growing and will continue to swell. They're launching in other areas soon. The Bay Area is next. One comment that Musk made that I thought was interesting was that he expects by the end of the year they will cover half of the U.S. population. Now, of course, the populations are clustered in cities for the most part. So that's interesting.
That's ambitious, is it not?
Yeah, isn't that like and 5 or 10 cities?
Is that you only need 10 cities to cover half the U.S. population? Is that true?
It's to be something crazy small like that, though.
Yeah, it could be.
15, but
right, and then of course it depends on how big the surface area is there.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's nice to see their ambitions.
maybe it was their highest grossing quarter with a fresh model launch, or the highest grossing quarter where Elon came back from a distraction.
Yes, if you put enough caveats in, that will be a true statement. I cannot argue with that. That's why I said I wasn't sure what context, and it was hard to catch what he was. Anyway, so let's keep going. Model Y was the best-selling vehicle in many countries. They listed them. They expect European sales to increase when FSD is approved there. Same for China, and they're working on regulation to get approval there in both of those regions.
Did they mention any of their foibles with the FSD and the legal system?
No, they did not. Yeah, I know there's been some lawsuits and other things going through the courts. They didn't mention any of that stuff.
And then there was.
They did say that getting through the European Cisco was Kafka-esque, even worse than Kafka could have ever imagined. So the next thing on the point here was that energy is going very well. They have record Powerwall deployments. Despite the tariff issues, customers are seeing the value of energy storage and solar, and adoption continues to grow even with these complications. And they're working on their LFP factory here in the US, and that will sidestep a bunch of these issues. One of the more interesting comments that they said was one of the analysts asked about the unboxed manufacturing method and how that's coming along. And Lars responded and said that we expect to see it in Q4. And Musk said, surprise, it's just a Model Y. So there's going to be an unboxed Model Y in Q4 is what they're telling us. And that timing could work out really well if the incentives go away at the end of Q3 and they can introduce a more affordable Y in Q4. That could really work out. And of course, we saw this whenever there's a new vehicle, there's ramp up. And the unboxed method is so different, I don't think they could just use the existing lines. So there might be two versions of the Model Y out with they just did the refresh Juniper. So I doubt they're going to discontinue that. So it'll be interesting to see how that rollout happens in Q4.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting. An unboxed, and then Musk interrupted and said, "Surprise! It's a Model Y." So that is very interesting. How that would, but of course, he couldn't Osborne himself and say, "Oh, it's the cheaper car," because that would be letting the surprise out, and
right.
They really don't want to do that at this point.
Exactly. Yes, and if you think, I can get a Model Y with incentives today, or I can get one made in a newer thing that saves them money and will cost me the same compared to now with incentives. There's no reason to wait.
Plus, you get to be a Tesla guinea pig if you wait for it. Sometimes that's good. Oftentimes, there's teething pains.
Yes, the first year of any new model, you're going to have problems from any manufacturer. So it's if you don't want to, if you're not an early adopter type, then wait a year.
Right, or if you're sort of centered over 30 minutes from where you park it, it's probably another good time to let somebody else be at the front of the line, so you're not spending all your time back and forth between service. When he said surprise is a Model Y, they always showed it to us with a Model Y, and then he said it's not going to be a Model Y.
Right, it's an unboxed Model Y. Totally different, Casey.
Right.
Okay, so there were, a dozen questions, but there are only three that I thought worth discussing. One, somebody asked what's happening in the design studio lately, and Franz said some really cool stuff that I won't share. He's good at that. Musk, however, is not. And then so Musk jumped in and said, we are designing the post-autonomy world, and it's got some really exciting stuff, and that's going to help make Tesla the biggest company in the world.
Nothing like shooting for the stars.
Yes, we're just designing a completely new world.
Yeah,
nothing little.
Besides that, we still got time for lunch, though.
Yes. The next question was,
can't get Grok working without lying to us or making stuff up. Small potatoes.
Yeah, nothing big. When will Hardware 3 cars get updated for FSD? And that was an interesting answer. It was after FSD unsupervised is widely deployed, because only then will we know for sure exactly what needs to go in those cars to make it FSD unsupervised capable.
You don't want to give us a free upgrade in between the free upgrade.
Exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do an upgrade now, and you say, okay, we'll just upgrade the computer. The cameras will be fine. And then later you find out, no, we do need the upgraded cameras, so we have to bring your car back in or whatever. So that's their plan, and I think that's the right call. There's no reason to have all people flooding their shops today when it might not even get them what they want.
If it weren't for Robotaxi being out on the street right now, I would say it was more likely that he was trying to wait us out to the upgraded cars. But that thing is running without anybody in the controls, so maybe.
Well, they still have a monitor in the passenger seat.
Mm-hmm.
They still have tele-operations capability. I mean, those are all things that are not just. They're not going to do that for everybody who's using FSD.
He's talking the full coast-to-coast drive from 2016. Before we get our upgrade,
or at least having it in multiple cities and not having the monitor in the passenger seat, right? So they have to get to that level before they even think about upgrading.
So it could be Christmas. It could be 4 years from now.
And again, it could be that they haven't exhausted everything that they feel they have to do a full hardware replacement. They could be still working on a few things that once hardware 4 is up and running reliably, everything works, they may try to dumb it down somewhat and get it into a hardware 3 format again.
Yes, they might.
They might try that still, because of course it would be advantageous for them to do so. The financial hit is going to be quite a bit, that there's a number of hardware 3 vehicles on the road and continue to be. And of course, it's also going to give them time to keep offering the ability to transfer that FSD to another newer car, which, of course, a percentage of people will take them up on that offer, and that will reduce that hardware hit that could be coming.
Yeah, so here's one of the things that they did that I wish they would have done more of in the past. They didn't say X number of weeks or months. Or give a date, or say second half of 2026 or whatever. They just said when this occurs. And that's the right way. You give out those kinds of metrics instead of some date guess. And then you actually kind of understand how you're progressing towards that. And everybody can see when it's coming instead of just, I don't know, they said this date and then they missed it for some reason. And now I'm mad.
Yeah. I don't know about that one as somebody affected by it. If they work to squeeze in a 4, it seems that it would probably be a wasted effort if the 5 is almost done. They purposely made 4 not backwards compatible by changing the shape, changing the voltage of the cars, and doing everything they could to make sure it couldn't slot in. Not just legacy cars, but also to the Model 3s and other non-legacies that have liquid cooling and everything else they'd want except for the voltage. So if they're pretty much done with 4 and then Robotaxi's running 5 or 4.5 or whatever for the actual car, not the service, it would make more sense to just have that one ready for the upgrade, it would seem.
Yeah, but as you said, Casey, they made a lot of changes to the hardware because they had to. If they were going to meet the compute level that they believe they needed, they had to make those structural changes to the hardware. And they knew that, you're right, they're not going to be compatible with the other cars. It's going to be a pain in the butt to convert people from 3 to 4, and it won't be just a simple plug and play.
Yeah.
But obviously they needed that level to achieve the compute power they believe they needed for FSD to work properly.
Right. And if you're dealing with backwards compatibility and legacy baggage, it can definitely slow you down. Those things get in the way of forward progress, sadly, quite often.
Yeah, but not even legacy in this particular case. Like, it doesn't even fit in the Model Y. The existing ones.
Right.
Um, so-
and I agree. It's a sucky thing if you've got that hardware and you know that the road will be long for you to get an upgrade.
That's the only part that really sucks about it. They're honoring it and doing the right things so far. If they come back and pull a Cybertruck extended battery pack on us, they're in for a world of hurt. But
right,
if
the difference is people have paid for what your FSD versus no one had actually paid for the battery pack, right?
People paid for the battery pack. Some people
did they? Okay, well they got refunds.
They got refunds,
whereas people haven't got FSD refunds.
I don't,
except for a few.
Yeah. So with this, other than like I said, where they designed it not to work, or didn't take any care to make it backwards compatible, whichever glass half full, empty you want to look at it with. The 5, so the 4 started going in what, 22, right?
Yes, yeah, and I think we're all switched over by mid 23.
Okay, and then 3 came out for backwards for the upgrades for 3 happened in late 19. Mm-hmm. So I would think that the costs have come down and everything to just streamline it all into one for 5, especially now they know they have to do it, and just do that versus going back and re-architecting and re-engineering a board that you're done with, and then it's just to spite people like, hey, you didn't buy a new car, so I'm going to make an effort to give you the old stuff.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem to be good fiduciary process. If they give us a 4 and then the 5 is already almost done, just saying.
All right, you know they're not going to give you the 5. Like
not right away.
I don't know, Mark. One of the reasons that you go forward with this stuff is that newer, smaller chips are often cheaper on the manufacturing side. Of course, if they're more capable, you sell them at a higher price point. Yeah. But that's just the chip industry. So if they can go to 5 and they're manufacturing 5 in high volume at that time for cyber cabs or whatever, that might be. If it meets the upgrade path easier because of the voltage regulator or board size or whatever, it could be a 5.
Yeah, I could even see them doing like a 5 Lite, just like they did where they did the 4s for some of the S and X, where they had the graphics card, and then they said, nah, nobody else uses this anymore, and then they took it out. So they could easily just not give us all the storage or all the compute or something, and just give us a cut rate board of the new process, new technology. And then if you cut it, it also would consume less. So then they can say, all right, this was 48 volt and 16 volt. And then if we cut this, they can do 12 with headroom and not, eat 3 miles of range per trip.
They must have early metrics on their AI5 hardware already, because they did mention that it's exceeding the export licensing. So they said they might have to make a nerfed version of AI5.
Oh, wow.
And that's exactly what you're talking about of, hey, well, maybe 5 is, and they could nerf it and use that for the upgrade. So
we get the China 5 as an upgrade, and then China gets the China 5. And everybody else gets the good stuff.
Well, you guys know this. It wouldn't be the case, the Tesla life, if Casey wasn't complaining about being a legacy owner. So, all right, now on to our next topic.
Well, they had to change their policy.
Right. Okay. What is the gating factor for customer vehicles to join the robotaxi network? And Musk said, we're not at that phase yet. We haven't given it a whole lot of thought. The CFO chimed in that there will be some minimum requirements, things like tire maintenance and vehicle issues, vehicle maintenance. There will be a checklist that has not yet been determined. So I thought that was interesting, is that Musk's comment of, we haven't really thought about that yet. Like, what? How many times has he said you could just put your car on the network and make some money and make it more affordordable? Now he's like,
that's an easy statement to say, though, isn't it?
It's his style. It's his style.
And of course, that's been like you said, that's been the company line from day one with FSD. It's been you can use your car to make money.
appreciating asset.
You will keep every car. Just keep it in your garage until FSD becomes available, and you will then unleash a fleet of Teslas on the road to collect money for you.
The price is only going up.
Right.
But
right.
The very first requirement, at least until they go truly unmonitored, would be, all right, are you willing to sit in your car with your thumb on the exit button? So they can't really.
I doubt that they will have a safety driver for those cars. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So until they are able to do that on their own cars, they definitely don't want us in their network. I'm curious, other than basic maintenance, what they're gonna want to require, and it's gonna be like Uber, where you get like an inspection, or is the car gonna say, yeah, I'm good, and does that leave us legacy folks out? And how like, because if the car's driving itself and you're nowhere near it, they're gonna have to assume liability for this thing. And are they going to have Tesla insurance all the time, or are they just going to do like Uber and Lyft, where they cover it during the while it's being a robotaxi? I don't think that they've not thought about it. I think that they might have too many questions to address it.
Yeah, it's like they haven't finalized it, and so they're not going to share it. Yeah, I mean, your car runs self-diagnostics all the time, and even says, "Hey, you need service, and would you like me to schedule service for you?" I mean, so yeah, it'll be stuff like that.
It'll be here on Thursday. Come pick it up. Like, excuse me.
Right. Yeah. If your AC is broken in August in Phoenix, you're not going to be able to join the network. It's just not going to allow that.
Yeah.
Which is smart. Okay, and then the last one that I thought was worth.
I do have a job. I'm a robotaxi.
There are going to be 2 drags hitting the finances coming up, with the big beautiful bill eliminating the emission standards, so other automakers will not have to buy ZEV credits in the U.S. They might still for California's market or other places, but that was interesting. And then
going away or just loosening up to like nothing?
They're effectively gone under the Trump administration. The federal vehicle mileage standards are gutted.
Great old times when you could see and feel the air.
Yeah, right. Yes. We don't want to have to chew your way through the
5
air.
miles per gallon, baby.
What's per mile, Mark? Now. How many gallons per mile?
Put that back in it. Oh
man. Should we expect to see a price reduction in Q4 to offset the incentives that are going away? Okay. And Musk said, we're in a transition phase for the next few quarters. They could be rough quarters. I'm not saying they will be, but they could be. And then once autonomy hits in 2026, the incentives won't matter. So that
sounds like he's betting big on autonomy, and he's saying don't look anywhere else but there. Right. And I'm not sure if this is related to that, but anytime management says the next couple quarters could be rough,
will be rough.
And so the stock was down, 5% on that news. I haven't looked at it after hours recently, but anyway. So the final comment here I wanted to say from the call was if Tesla can achieve autonomy, robotic autonomy, it has a chance to be the biggest company in the world. And then Musk said the best way to predict the future is to make it happen. That was it. That's my summary.
I don't, with those 2 comments, I don't know if you can go any higher. One, we're going to reshape how humanity runs, and then in order to make the future happen, just produce it.
Right.
Oh my goodness! Now
the guy is super humble and never says anything.
Yeah, there's none of that in that little speech. That is for sure. It is sky's the limit, and sky isn't big enough for us. We're going into space.
Was there any comments in the? I was reading my notes, so I saw something that popped up.
There was also, I mean, he says some outlandish stuff, and he sets some lofty goals, but that old kitsch saying, you shoot for the moon, you land on the stars. One, aside from being inaccurate, that's kind of the way he goes for it. Only he goes all in with everything. So if you do miss, and then you miss all the stars too, then it could be quite interesting.
So I mean, this is Musk's management style, and it always has been to go for the big goals and to push hard and make the impossible merely late. So this is what got them this far, and this is why they've done things that nobody else has done. So I'm not gonna, this is who he is, and this is why I have invested in them. And yeah.
And that's his style, and it has been his style since the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I don't see any reason that would ever change because it's obviously part of his DNA, and that's not going to change. So when it comes to picking dates, he's completely optimistic to a fault. And when it comes to picking tasks that would be complete, same thing. And it's not even he's completely optimistic. As Patrick mentioned, he pushes everyone around him to go beyond what he believes is possible. And therefore, everyone always has a goal out in front of them. The carrot is always just out of reach. And that makes people strive harder and longer and burn out too. So
sometimes,
sometimes it's a double-edged sword, but you're right. I don't think it's going to change. Anytime that Musk takes the microphone, it's grandeur, and it always will be.
He's a more popular, slightly more approachable of the fiercest of Steve Jobs. That's what you get.
Yeah.
So if you were able to deal with that, then that's what it is.
Mercurial was the word.
Patrick, was there anything in the earnings call that referenced dancing cats?
Yes, Highlander asked me to mention that. I see that. Yes. So talking about FSD, Musk said that there are a lot of people that have never even tried it. And if you tell them about it, they just don't believe it. And his analogy was like, it's saying, I have a cat that sings and dances, and here it is, and it just looks like a normal cat because Tesla vehicles just look like normal vehicles. And so they want to have people try it. So they said with the, what's the current version? 12? Is that?
About something.
Or 13. Oh, yeah. So no, it's in the, so with our latest version, major version, the adoption rate is up about 25%. And I assume that's relative 25%, like going from 8% to 12%, or that would be 50%. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? It's not from 10% to 35. It's a relative 25% increase. And
really good.
Yeah. So I mean, what is that? Like 11 to 14 or something. And anyway, whatever the numbers are, as it gets better, more people are going to want to pay for it. More people are going to want to use it. There was a comment about how if you get them to try it, then they'll believe it. Seeing is believing. You have to have them behind the wheel and see it come to a stop at a stoplight or a stop sign, creep forward, look for traffic, just make a decision to go when it's safe. And so they're even talking about when you put in a destination, if you haven't been using FSD, they might pop up a, would you like to try FSD for this drive? And so they might do some things like that to encourage people to try it more.
This is your robot butler. Can I try it?
Yeah. There was a comment, if you're paying $100 a month or $99 a month or whatever their lease price is, it's like 33 1/3 cents per day. $3.33 per day to use FSD if you're using it. So I mean, who wouldn't want their own personal chauffeur if it was really good, stress-free, could drive as good or better than you? Yeah, $3 seems like a great price.
Yeah, I would do it again. The thing I get is a lot of people come to me and say, "Oh yeah, my Durango can do that." No, it can't.
Yeah. Simple lane keeping is not the same as FSD.
Right, and I don't care that yours is 2026 and mine is 7 years old. He cannot.
My Durango can do that. No, I don't think so. There is a big difference between lane keeping and what Tesla's offering in FSD currently, even in supervised FSD. But you're right. I think just like the dawn of electric vehicles, how no one would believe that they were quicker, more fun to drive, non-polluting, and cheaper on maintenance and fueling. No one understood it until they did the work themselves and drove one and talked to other people that have them and looked up white paper on it. Like there was all these doubts about electric vehicles now or back then, and today we take it for granted. But FSD is following that same chain of thought.
Very much so.
So, very good, very good. So, I think a good takeaway, Patrick, was when the CEO says there could be some troubled quarters coming. You're right. They probably know exactly that is coming. So, let's hope that.
He's the same guy who told us the trouble was coming in the U.S. Economically, and then he make it happen. So I would listen to him on this as well.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. If
although this quarter Q3 could be great if it's the last quarter of the incentive, that a lot of demand could get pulled from Q4 to Q3. So I have high hopes for this quarter.
True. It depends on how many people have been fence sitting to this point. So if people were looking to make the Tesla stretch and we're just looking for more runway, well, they know where the runway ends now. So you're right. It may change.
$7,500 is not chump change.
Yeah,
that's a few
exactly.
pennies.
Exactly.
Yeah, anybody who thinks that I have lost any sort of illusion with the company or whatever. No. Being skeptical about somebody tells you something is healthy. If I didn't believe they could still achieve the mission, I would sell what little stock I have. So,
yeah. Well, next, I wanted to touch upon, of course, the diner, which they mentioned in the earnings call. They talked a little bit about its successful opening, and they said that not many diners get mentioned on the nightly news, which of course the diner did. Yeah. But this was, of course, a unique opening. It did open just a couple days ago at about 4:20 in the afternoon. I don't know how they picked that number, but that was the time approximately that it opened locally in West Hollywood, and there was all sorts of fanfare. We had lineups that started at 6 a.m. Local time. The fences didn't come down until late in the afternoon. So a lot of people were standing in line and not even knowing if it was going to open. They were going on rumors at that point at 6 a.m. But later on, it was determined that, yes, it would be opening, and it did so. And of course, there was a flood of people there. There's about 80 chargers in the lot and adjacent lot. That's part of that supercharger. And the movies started. The clips of movies. Obviously, they're not showing a full movie. Because I had somebody ask me in the comments once, well, if they're showing us a full movie, they're never going to leave their charging spot because they're going to want to see the end of the movie. Well, I don't think they're showing premiere movies. What they're doing is they're showing clips from known movies, good movies that people have most likely seen, but they're classics, and that's what they're trying to draw from. Also, which was showing on the film was some SpaceX highlights. They were showing some of their landings, and they were showing some takeoffs on the big screen as well. But what was interesting was that they did show some of the video that they were taking the previous weeks, where we saw the parking lot was filled with camera equipment, and they were wetting the asphalt and putting lights in the air to shine lights off the shiny pavement. All that has come with some B-roll that Tesla has released of walking around on the site. But what was also neat was that the Optimus was on site. It was serving popcorn slowly, which was expected. It's a new task for it, but there was that. There was the meals that they were serving. Some of them were boxed uniquely in Cybertruck attire. So very cool little boxes that mimicked the outside of the Cybertruck. The menu was released. It's going to be an upscale kind of pricing, medium to upscale, I would say. It's not an In-N-Out burger, and they're not selling Wagyu beef either. It's something that's in the middle, and I'm looking at probably somewhere in the area of $18, $20, probably going to be the average ticket for a meal there, for a full meal, like a drink and a burger and a fry, or a sandwich and a fry, something like that. But what was interesting was that after it was open for a couple days, people were asking, hey, has this been successful? What have you seen? And of course, with an anticipated opening like this and the lineups that they saw, you're going to see a flood of people for the first few weeks. Like there's going to be nonstop action at this place. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But there's going to be an influx of people. You don't require to have a Tesla or even have a car to come and eat there. They're open to the community. Of course, that's going to limit your ability to get the movie coming through audio-wise on your stereo system if you're not in Tesla. I'm not sure how they're going to handle that outside of that. If you're in the restaurant, maybe there's some speakers that would have some of the audio coming from movies. And it wasn't clear if the videos were in sync or if they were different videos sometimes. And I swear I saw some photos. Screens? Yeah, that there was different things going on the two different screens. But in some cases, it was the same picture. So not really sure how they're handling that at this point.
I'm curious what the non-Tesla supercharging cars are going to... Is that part of their agreement that there's a protocol they can use to catch that and dispose it?
That's what I'm saying. Is maybe they don't get to catch it at all. I'm not sure.
Or maybe it's like old school drive-ins where there's a post there with the
there's an FM dial number, right?
Yeah, or that. Yeah, they could do a local FM broadcast.
Well, I would go to the web stream because then you can also get your people who are walking. Because who is walking around today that still has the ability to pick up an FM signal if they don't have something.
Right. A webcast would be much better that anyone could grab with their smartphone.
Yeah, it's harder to sync though.
The smartphones anymore. That's true. It would be harder to sync. They could do it.
But yeah, there were some great pictures taken. Actually, let's see if I could share a few of them that were there. Let's grab.
I hope they do more of these. I want one that's around here. Who doesn't?
Elon promised, of course, that eventually Optimus will be delivering food in 2026 to your vehicle.
Can Optimus put on skates? And stay,
he didn't say skates. He just said delivering food. Inside the restaurant, when you go up to the second floor, they have a number of displays on the inside walls of the staircase, where you've got, in this case, you've got Optimus displayed prominently on one of these. Kind of reminded me of a movie, old one, but don't know if you two would pick up on that. But kind of reminded me of Logan's Run.
Oh, yes. I love that movie.
Yeah, that was kind of when they were walking through the ice crystal area and all these people were frozen in ice. That's what this picture reminded me of.
Fish and plankton from the sea.
There you go. Exactly. And here's the opening that Franz was presiding over. And he came out and welcomed everyone.
So this is pretty cool. This was the grand opening. They did a soft opening the day before where they invited area first responders.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Oh, the Jetsons were on the big screen there.
Retrofuturistic. That is what we called it.
And then here's a shot of the Tesla released video.
That had it set up where the driver could only see the usual status information, and then the passenger could watch a full-on DVD at the time.
And we got a few more photos here of the box meal that we'll share.
Right.
There was a picture of the kid wearing the hat from wearing the box as a hat.
As a hat,
pretty,
yes.
So if you want a free Cybertruck hat, there you go. Go order one of their box meals. Can't call it a Happy Meal.
No,
A ludicrous meal. I don't know. Cyber
meal. So a neat little sandwich container shaped as a Cybertruck. And of course, it pop opens to show the sandwich. And as Patrick mentioned, the lid was removable. That it could become a hat.
Right. It reminds me of the Apple pizza box. It looks like their theater. So. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So obviously, it was a successful opening. They had. And it still continues to be like there's a ton of people. I would say that if you are in the area or planning on visiting the area to actually go to this particular restaurant, I'd say go in the middle of the night because you're prime times are just probably a circus that you will have a real difficulty in getting a meal at a regular time, I would think, for the first little while.
Good morning, Anders.
Yeah, good morning, Anders.
Yeah, and someone who mentioned it, Lee Moon, broken window in the Cybertruck meal box because there was a little corner that was broken, or not broken, it was missing. So it looked like there was a hole there. So maybe Lee, that could be it.
That's cool.
The joke that just keeps on giving.
Yeah.
It rocked his concentration the night of. It was pretty good marketing after the fact.
Very good. Very good. Other thing just wanted to touch upon, Patrick, you probably saw this news as well, but Tesla has launched its first virtual power system in the UK.
Oh, awesome. I did not see that, but yeah, I love VPPs.
Yep. So virtual power plant has opened, and they will pay you for the solar that you collect and put onto the system. So Tesla has opened that up in the UK, and they will start to roll that out. So we'll see if it makes an impression on the people there, and if it usually things like this start pretty small. The company stated that those enrolled in the program could earn up to £300 per month, which is a sizable amount. It was, if that was $300 a month, that would be a good incentive to get involved with it. they have operated a VPP, obviously outside of the U.S. and in Australia, previously Japan and New Zealand. So the UK gets added to that list.
Yeah, so I just did a quick Google translation or conversion. It's about $400 US, which hey, that's better than paying $400 every month. I'd rather receive that. Yes. That's pretty cool. And then they're working with Octopus Energy, and their service area includes the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Austria. Australia. Sorry, Japan and New Zealand. So I mean that's like all over the place. If this works out, they could grow this.
Yeah, Octopus seems like a pretty high tech power company there. Hey Patrick,
what up?
You down with VPP?
You know me.
Yeah, so that's that is new news for the week. Obviously, there's other things going on, but we don't have 3 hours to run through it. But it is interesting that we've got this high profile opening, and then 3 days later, Elon had said, "Yeah, we'll probably build them in more metro areas." So he said Starbase will be next, and that will be, I don't know if they'll put it on the upper floor of the Starbase, which they talked about putting some sort of a bar previously.
The H-bar, high bar, yeah.
But he said that Starbase will probably be the next, and it's not necessarily a movie theater type thing. He said that they will look to enhance features of the local area. So who knows? It could be a different, and I think it should be different if they want it to be successful. You make them unique. You make them a flavor of that area of the country, and you draw upon things that will bring people in. So I think that would be a good idea.
So Starbase gets to be a cattle ranch or something about rockets. And New York, you get to play day trader. Yeah. Because obviously Hollywood is where you get movies, right? So
yeah.
Because I was going to ask, because I say, if they do Starbase, like, don't they already have one? So basically, they just finish it and open it to the public. But sounds like they're going another way with that.
Exactly.
If it's going to be a supercharging spot, you want to have, not too far from the major drive areas.
Yeah, not that people go up 50 floors of an elevator and
right.
Also I had somebody spreading FUD about the diner, and their comment was that Tesla needs to entice their charging people with a movie because it takes that long to charge. And it's like, okay, here's someone that's just looking to spread FUD. They don't want to know anything about it. They're just looking for an opportunity to FUD it up, and that's all they were after, unfortunately.
Well, they watch their movies 5 minutes at a time. 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
So, well, with that, I think we will wrap it up. Let's move on to shout outs. Casey, what do you got for us?
Well, we've got our express shows coming up, and then you've got me over on Sundays. Let's chat with Casey and Fred over at youtube.com and x.com, and we hope to see you there.
Very good, very good. And if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on this video. Press that subscribe button. It helps us out immensely. And you can follow us through the week on our X feed at the Tesla Life. Patrick, what do you got for us?
Another week being a busy blogger. So I have a post up there titled "The Future is Autonomous," and wow, that's even before all this stuff just came out in their financials. And so I talk about how automation has done a lot for humanity, and the difference with autonomy and automation. How do those relate, and what's different? And And then the next one I have is looking at electricity utility costs. And I started from 2007 to today, looking at some averages, but more in depth, looking at PGE, just because that's my local service provider. And let's see, it was, the residential rate was 8 cents per kilowatt hour back then. And today it's more than double at 17.4 cents per kilowatt hour. So the best solution for that is just get solar. If you can get to a point where you're paying for solar, and the cool thing for me was we have 2 solar systems up there. One I paid cash for, one that I got on a power purchase agreement. And the power purchase agreement locked it in at 9 cents per kilowatt hour. And that price does not change. And so every time the price has gone up from the utility provider, that's become a better and better deal for me. So if you can get a system where even if you have to take out a loan for it, if your loan payment is less than what your utility bill would be, that's the right move. So anyway, yeah, I thought that was interesting, and you can check it out at carswithcords.net. And as always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org. Thanks.
I'm curious, even though it doubled, I'm curious how that compares with gas on a out-of-pocket comparison. Obviously, if you say by percentage, then double is still double. But if gas went up 40 cents and electricity went up by 8 cents, how did that change your energy output, energy bills in each scenario?
Yeah, actually, gas had a big spike in 2008, and relative to that high point, it's been pretty flat. Even maybe during COVID it was above it, but for better or worse,
and below it.
Yeah. So for better or worse, gas has not gone to $5 a gallon and stayed there.
Right. But it's not. It's still higher than it was before, right? I don't keep up with it.
Yeah, don't ask me about gas prices. I don't know. I've been driving electric since 2007, Casey.
Whenever somebody's telling me a story about the gas price, I always say, is that good? Because usually the only reason people are talking about the gas price out of the blue is either just went up to something ridiculous, or
right.
This deal I just got. Why don't you get down to the corner store and get you some?
Where I used to work, I used to keep an eye on the gas price because I was the only one that was driving electric. And then whenever the gas jumped, I would come into work that morning and say, "Does anyone see the price of gas today?" And eventually they start, just shut up. Just shut up. We know you drive electric. So that was fun on Monday mornings.
How to troll your friends and coworkers.
Very good. Very good. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and get together with us next time, and together we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla Life.
Stay positive. Test negative.
Thank you, Lee Wynn.